What's good? Hope all is well. Oops, I messed up, man. I moved my computer. Now can't move my camera. All right, cool. Got it, man. What's good with everybody? Now. All right. Mass Arms in the building. What's going on, man? TZ Frank, what's good? Calvin Johnson, what's going on, man? The Real McCoy, what's good with you? Jamaican Chalice, big ups to you as well. Robert Sorensen, what's good? Bogar Skrilla, what's good? You know, chilling, just waiting for people to get into the building. We'll wait for a second, let people get in, man. But man, I'm good, man. Had a great weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Took a couple of days off. I usually don't do it, but I took a couple of days off from making videos and read, did reading and stuff. So I'm good, man. I feel refreshed. I feel like $100, man. Well, actually, shit. I hope I feel like more than $100. Need to feel like $100,000. Bumpy Thompson, what's going on, man? Reggie the Tree, what's going on? Native Black Faculty Conversations. Yes, sir. It has been a while. Glad to see you here. What's going on, Ashley's Corner? Frank Navarro, what's good with you, man? Everything is proper over here, man. Just checking out this boxing news. It seems as if people are getting reared up. What's going on, Heavy Hitter Boxer? Seems like people are getting revved up to come back to start this boxing again, man. So you got Errol Spence and Danny Garcia saying he's fighting either Errol Spence Jr. or Manny Pacquiao in September. And hey, man, that would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? Oh, he said, been listening. No, that's what's up, man. I appreciate that. I know sometimes people can't, especially it's tough for people to get to the chats a lot of times, in the morning. Because, I used to do them, in the morning, or I do them in the evening. What's going on, Underground Asylum? I'm chilling, man. Just wait for people to come on, roll in here, man. Once we get up somewhere around 100 people, man, we'll get the conversations going. How'd everything go for you guys this weekend? Yeah, man, but it's been good, man. I just cannot believe Manny Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia. This is what's going to happen in the welterweight division. I did a video on it today, man, but I promise you, this is what's going to happen. Mikey Garcia is going to fight. What's going on, Junior? Let me bow down to Junior the Truth. Hey, man, let me tell you about Junior the Truth, man. That's a smart motherfucker right there. Okay? That's a smart ass dude right there. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it was about, but I called. You ever call somebody and you thinking you could be like, hey man, I could see if this dude would be interested in something. And maybe it could be something where you could help somebody out, but then you have a conversation and you realize that the person knows like 100 times more than you do. I had a conversation with Judah the Truth. Nah, dog, it's the truth, man. I had a conversation with you and I walked out that motherfucker feeling like shiftless and lazy. I was like, damn, dog, let me get this, man. I gotta get on my P's and Q's. This dude, Junior the Truth, is just thorough, man, thorough. And what makes me sick about it is that you're an alpha. So just by the very nature of your ass being an alpha and me having to be like, damn, this motherfucker know what he's talking about. It makes me feel, that's why I'm wearing black today, dog. And I didn't wear my red. Big Dog Willie said, I can only officially say fuck Dillian White on Fannon channel unless it's a super chat. Please, Fannon, can you make it into a law on your profit? Hey, man, look, Big Dog Willie, you can say fuck Dillian White for free, okay? That is what you call a public service announcement, all right? And we are not just about the money at Fannon International Boxing. We are about serving the greater good in the boxing community. So I can't think of too many things that are more important for the boxing world to understand than fuck Dillian White. It's a top-notch type of thing, dog. You're doing a great service for the sport of boxing. Oh, by the way, check out my Twitter, dude. Check out my Twitter. I put up a quote. I'm reading a book. It's not in here. I think it's in the other room. But I'm trying to finish up my book on Sam Langford, and I'm taking speed reading classes because I realized, dude, I want to get through all of these books, but I just don't have enough time. So I started enrolling in these speed reading classes, and I was like, okay, and it picked up my reading a little bit. So I got through like maybe 100 pages, maybe 100 pages in a sitting. And I was like, all right, cool. I can run through, if I can read at that pace, I can get through 100 pages a day. If I get through 100 pages a day, that means I can get through, I can get through a book a week, which is what I need to get, is what I need to get back to. But in the midst of it, dude, I want you to hear a quote. Native faculty, black faculty boxing. I want to read a quote to you. Read a quote to you out of this Sam Langford book, man. And shout out to Rhodes, not Rhodes, God, man, the author of the book, man. It was an excellent book. But let me go to my Twitter real quick, and I'm gonna read you this quote. I want you guys to go look at this quote on the Twitter. This is a quote from Charles Dana, who was the editor of the New York Sun in 1895. The reason why it's important to that year, that time frame is important, is because that is when boxing in the United States really started to grow, right? But listen to what he says and tell me that when I'm a believer that when something starts a certain way, Native faculty, if you get a chance to speak with Spence, please ask him to go to Blu-ray Strength and Conditioning. That's all he needs to add to this. To his, hey man, I speak to his pops. Me and his father are friends. I ain't in the business, and I appreciate that, but I ain't in the business of telling people that know more about their business than me what to do with their business. You know what I mean? So he's got to do, what he thinks is right, man. But if it works for you, I do know this much, that there are conversations about the necessity for him to have outside people work on certain things with him in order for him to be at his absolute maximum. And I think that's a realization. My understanding is, and that's not from his father, it's not from anybody else, it's from somewhere else, that he would be thinking about that. You know what I mean? Where you take speed reading classes, shit, you can get speed, man, dude. Go to Udemy. There's a thing called Udemy, and the place that I learn things now is on Udemy, because they create these online courses, and for like $9, you can go through the whole course. The course is usually like, they start off at like, maybe $50, $60. But what you do is you don't buy new ones. Always look for the ones on sale, and you'll get some real good shit on, you'll get some real good stuff on Udemy, man. Let me see my Udemy classes. Right now, I'm in the midst of several Udemy classes, and you do them at your own pace. But so for right now, I've got video production masterclass, After Effects masterclass, essentials to modern filmmaking, Photoshop master course. So those are the 4 things that I'm taking. Now, as far as the speed reading, I've got something else I'm doing because I just wanted to get the gist of it real quick. And so I got the high level, and I use some of the high level stuff to push me forward. But let me get back to this. About this statement. Listen to what this says. We are in the midst of a growing menace. The black man is rapidly forging into the ranks of athletics, especially in the field of fisticuffs. We are in the midst of a black rise against white supremacy. Charles Dana, New York Sun, 1895. And I'm quoting a book, Roden, 2006. Now, first things first, why I found that this was important is because this is an editor of a newspaper, a prominent newspaper in New York, referring to the system in place as white supremacy. They refer to it as white supremacy. So please do not tell me, people, that shit don't fucking exist. And it is about some bullshit, like some bullshit cats burning flags and all that. That's not what it's about. It literally is the domination, the supremacy of that group of people over everybody else. And they were afraid of it of it falling apart in any particular area of human activity. In this case, boxing. We are in the midst of a growing menace. We are in the midst of the black rise against white supremacy. Remember that. Okay. And I don't want to hear anybody else saying people are making this shit up. There's no systematic, all that bullshit they talk. 1895, by a boxing media person speaking about black boxers starting to progress in fisticuffs. And in the actual article, actually in the book, it talks about the three major sports at the turn of the century were horse racing, boxing, and baseball. And that the biggest sports figures around those were black folk in the early part of the 20th century, because there were slaves that used to work in people's take care of the horses. They were the ones that rode the horses. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, don't act like people are making that shit up, okay? And I still maintain that that basic attitude has not changed. This basic attitude has not changed. This dude has the same thought process as Paulie Malignaggi right here. Because what did Paulie Malignaggi say? He said that blacks are no longer dominating boxing. Yet, maybe it was true at one point in time, but blacks are no longer dominating boxing. It's a different species now. It's the same thought process, dude. And they focus on that. It's the same thought process, dude. And they still do the same things. And now they were talking about that as one of the reasons. Add me to your chat, brother. What do you mean add me to your chat? Did you do a video about what they done to Dante's Boxing Nation? No. Why would I? What did they do to Dante's Boxing Nation? Join together for the greater evil. What did they do to Dante's Boxing Nation? I know his channel's gone, but I don't know what somebody did to him. What did they do to him? I don't know anything about it. Great show. Always learn a lot in these streams. Thanks, Mitchell. They hacked his channel. I don't think so. That didn't look like a hack to me. I don't know if they hacked it or not. You'd have to have Dante's Boxing Nation say that they hacked it. If they hacked it, he just started another channel and let people and go around the community, get people to know what his new channel is, and he'll get the same number of viewerships and all that stuff up quickly. It'll take him a while to get monetized, but do you believe Deontay Wilder represents the black community? Absolutely, he does represent the black community. Just like me. How can you not? Oh, he said so in an interview? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's tough, man. Yeah, it's tough, man. Double authentication, and don't go for business deals, dog. Don't ever let anybody get your passwords and all that stuff, man. Oh, he said, oh, okay. He said it was on Aki channel, said it will be fixed in a month. That's what's okay, cool. That's good to know. Yeah, I didn't know if it was something, if that was it, or if it was some like, a violation of a policy or something. I don't know, but that's good to know because Dante's Boxing Nation is an excellent channel, man. Excellent channel, and I look forward to resubscribing or supporting them in any way that I can. You know what I mean? Why Deontay can represent? Because he's black, dude. Look, man, there's no such thing as, man, y'all, look, let me tell you something, man. Y'all stealing from me, but I'm okay with this. We supposed to be talking boxing, and y'all come in here and trying to slip shit in there, this other shit, and making me go off into this stuff for a long period of time. What's going on, Dre's Finest? But let me tell you what it is, man. Iron Fist Boxing, Fannon, you do an excellent job on your channel, Fannon. Highly respect what you do for the boxing community. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I wanted to read that, dude, so that you guys don't get it twisted, man. Don't get it twisted. This shit is not changed. It's not changed. That's the only logical explanation that you could come up with. A logical explanation why people do not want to actively promote black fighters. Why you can't name 5 popular black heavyweights in American history. Popular, like loved, beloved heavyweights. You have 2. And why Top Rank and HBO and these guys will go all over the world to find talent, but will not look for talent that's sitting right in their own backyard. Why maybe a DAZN would go look. Why DAZN when they're trying to set up in the United States? The fuck? When people are trying, while DAZN is trying to set people up in the United States, why they would go to a British promoter in order to push it. Corner Girl 66, a little something for your knowledge. I appreciate that. But, we were supposed to be talking about boxing. But the answer to the question about why Deontay Wilder represents black people is because he's a black person. It's not any more complicated than that. My perspective is that there are no real black leaders, that there are people, that everybody is a spokesman. You can share what your experience is and what your ideas are about whatever you want to share your ideas and your thoughts about. So absolutely, positively, he represents black people. And I think he does it excellently. Is that a word? Excellently? I think he does an excellent job of doing it. Absolutely love Deontay Wilder. I think that what he represents to me is somebody that is very honest, somebody that is very, very hardworking, somebody that is not confused about his place in the world. He's a great father. He did a great thing for Tyson Fury. He does things for people that he doesn't even have to do. Look what he did for the career of Luis Ortiz. Look what he did for the career of Tyson Fury. Both of those guys should be extremely thankful that there's a Deontay Wilder in the world. He didn't carry himself. He didn't carry himself in a way where he let somebody like Eddie Hearn lead him around by the nose. And absolutely, man. I'm a big fan of Deontay Wilder as a person. And that's why I said I'm a fan of him and I support him. I don't care what you guys think about what his punches, whether he throws his punches straight or not. I don't care if he wins another fight in his life. I'm glad he got that money, because all the criticism and all the shit y'all poured on that dude's head ain't going to get it out of his pocket. So yeah, man, Deontay Wilder's the real deal, man. He's the real deal. And you're still trying to use the dude. People are still trying to use the dude to build their names off of. Don't nobody give a fuck about Tyson Fury if it's not for Deontay Wilder. Danny Dubois, who the fuck gives a fuck about Danny Dubois? But what does he do? They use Deontay Wilder's name to try to boost up Danny Dubois. If there is any excitement whatsoever in the heavyweight division right now, dudes, you should thank Deontay Wilder for providing it. The rest of these dudes are boring fighters. They bring next to no fucking excitement for their fight unless you're a fan of theirs, because none of them take fights. None of these dudes have taken risky fights. I don't know of a risky fight that Anthony Joshua has taken. Tyson Fury outside of Deontay Wilder, maybe Vladimir Klitschko, but Vladimir Klitschko was ancient at the time, that was on his downside when that shit happened, and Tyson Fury was on performance-enhancing drugs for the fight before that, and cheated on the way into it. You said Fury videos have low views unless it's about Wilder. Yeah, man, they're going to try to pitch. They're trying to pitch him, but I don't care. I'm not paying any extra money for that dude. I mean, the idea that you guys, and this is so interesting to me, because they know this. Mike, Top Rank and Bob Arum knows that Tyson Fury is not going to be some megastar in the United States. Anybody with common sense knows that. And Bob Arum has a lot more than common sense. A lot more than common sense. He's the type of guy, though, that talks about, like, he's into net profit. He's into net profit. So as long as what he is making is the requisite percentage higher than what he's spending, he's cool, because that means that he's earning money. And that's how he's kept his business going for 50 years. He's not some guy that is going to just all his eggs in one basket type of guy. But he's not interested in creating some big mega star. He'll get paid off of Tyson Fury for a few fights, and then he'll move on, and Matchroom will move on. But Tyson Fury is not. There's no risk of Tyson Fury becoming Manny Pacquiao. Tyson Fury is not going to become Oscar De La Hoya. He's lucky if he gets to be a Vasily Lomachenko. Like, these guys that they keep pushing, they do not succeed. Financially, these dudes do not become big stars. You know who becomes the big stars, but yet you will not push them forward because of the menace. That's the only logical explanation that I can come up with for it. I mean, logical explanation. If you say black fighters don't sell, but all of the top pay-per-view fights include black fighters, there's a disconnect there. There's a disconnect. You're saying they don't sell, but the only people that really sell big are them. How does that work? Unless you just say that's money you don't want. That's money that you don't want. And I've always believed that had something, that one of those, that right there, this right there, what I read to you, if not subconsciously or indirectly, has something to do with why we have 17 weight classes and 4 major sanctioning bodies, which means there can be no dominant black fighters.
Here are some results from the web.
Very hard for that to be the case. Very, very hard. Much love, Gravy Dave. And Ty George said, afternoon, Fannon. Thanks for all the great content. Thank you, man. It's my pleasure. Gravy David says, salute to you, Fannon, for helping me make it through my work day in Milwaukee. Couldn't participate in the chat, can only listen in. Thanks. Much love, Gravy David. Thank you for your support. Corner Girl 66 said, I believe Bob and Hearn really wanted Wilder under their control. Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, of course. Of course they do. Of course they do. Why not? Why not? He's a great fighter. But 17 weight divisions, the market is crazy diluted. Crazy diluted. But let's walk down there. What would be who would be the champions if there was only one division? If there was only one fighter, one champion in each division, who would be the champion in that division? If there was only one, right? Only one. And then what would the divisions of champions be? If there was only one champion. Wilder is the only heavyweight fighter that can get my pay-per-view. I stream every other heavyweights. I don't get pay-per-view unless it's a black fighter fighting, because, like you say, they're the real stars. They're the people that I support, because those are the people that are typically the ones that I want to support, that I want to do well. And I would buy a pay-per-view. I've bought all the pay-per-views for Canelo, though. I enjoy watching Canelo. I would buy pay-per-view fights of Mexican fighters or Eastern European fighters if there was a fight with an Eastern European in it that deserved to be on pay-per-view. I would pay pay-per-view for Gervonta Davis versus Vasily Lomachenko. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really good fighters there's very, very good European fighters. There's very, very good Mexican fighters. There's very good American fighters. There's very good Filipino fighters. There's a lot of very, very good fighters. But what I'm referring to is within the United States, American fighters are the only fighters that I know of that do not get love from the media in their own country. A great UK fighter is loved in the UK. Anthony Joshua was loved in the UK before his ass got exposed, right? Tyson Fury, they're trying to build his. Oh, well, we won't leave. Yeah, Tyson Fury, they're trying to accept him, trying to build him up, right? Same thing goes. Manny Pacquiao loved in the Philippines. In a way, from what I understand, loved and promoted in Japan. Canelo Alvarez, loved by a good number of people in Mexico, put up by Mexicans. Black fighters, you got guys like Terrence Crawford. Because what I'm going through the thing with Terrence Crawford. I keep hearing him say things where it keeps messing my head up. Like, Terrence Crawford fought Ugas. Terrence Crawford knew in the amateurs, he mentioned like 4 or 5 different guys that, that he not only did he fought, that he knew around the amateur scene. I have an incredibly hard time seeing why some major promoter out the gate did not want Terrence Crawford. Out the gate. What's Joey Spencer? And I know he's a PBC fighter. Joey Spencer right out the gate. Joey Spencer ain't no Terrence Crawford right out the gate. Ryan Garcia didn't win an Olympic medal. He didn't even go to the fucking Olympics. He didn't go to the Olympics. Right out the gate. Right out the gate. Big mark treatment right out the gate. Didn't even go to the Olympics. Right? Not that he couldn't have made the Olympics, but never went because of the age, because the age went up and it would have taken him a long time to get to be the age where he could compete. So he decides to go pro. Right? If it wasn't for Devin Haney's, I think Devin Haney's father and their knack for self-promotion, right? And their insistence on pushing their name to the forefront and the connection with Mayweather, would Devin Haney be getting pushed like that? I don't know, man. I don't think so. Very true. There would be no white champions if there only had one belt for each division. I don't know that that's true. Tyson Fury could still be the heavyweight champion. Tyson Fury, I think, Tyson Fury can fight. Okay, I got to keep it real. I always try to keep it real, but I'm gonna keep it 100. Tyson Fury has the ability to beat any heavyweight. He really does. He's no slouch, man. He's a cheating motherfucker for sure, but he's the real deal, man. Other than the cheating. Now, I'll put it this way. If they had a 1 strike you're out rule on steroids, whole lot of shit would change. Whole lot of shit would change. If you had a 1 strikeout rule on them steroids, because then you would know what people are really about. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of this stuff with these, as far as all of this, without cheating is not superior. I mean, he's a big ass dude, Bumpy Thompson. That's a big ass dude. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's a big dude. It's a really, really big dude who can fight, but he ain't got a chin and he juices. So I don't know what his stamina would be like if he didn't juice. Fury can definitely, Juniper B said, Fury can definitely fight. I just don't know how good he is without Nandrolone and tampering gloves. Never seen him without cheating. So who knows how good he really is? That's dead set. That's about right. Which is why he can't ever be and will never be, for me, a top heavyweight. Like a top, actually, damn, I need to be real about it. He popped dirty, dog, so he shouldn't even be champion. Damn, I forgot that I don't rate people that did pop dirty. I'm being a hypocrite right now. So I got to stop because I do it to Canelo. I don't have Canelo as my number 1 pound for pound guy because he popped dirty. I don't have him as my top 160 pounder because he popped dirty. Nor 168 because he popped dirty. And that's my own code. That might not be, that might not be somebody else's code, but that's my code. You know what I mean? Crusher Legend said, yep, a lot of them are on PEDs. Yeah, it's like unless you get rid of that, you don't know. But there's not a lot of care about performance enhancing drugs. I think for that reason. He's big as hell. That movement and stamina is definitely helped by PEDs. Yeah, he's big. The weight loss, yeah, I mean, but that's Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury's not a slouch. You know what I mean? He's not a slouch, that's for sure. Adewale, man, what's going on, Adewale M? Peace to Don. What's going on with you, man? I ain't seen. Well, I guess I saw you not too long ago, but always good to see you in here. Godfrey Samuels, Joshua can knock Fury out. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if he will, but I believe that he can. I believe that is a very hard fight for. I think that's a hard fight for Tyson Fury. I didn't think it was before, but I think it is now. And the reason that I think it is now is the fight with Andy Ruiz. I didn't know Anthony Joshua had that. I didn't know he had that in him. I didn't know that he had the athleticism to move like that. You know what I mean? So the fact that he can bring kind of like Sean Porter, that he can bring different styles of things. Yeah, and I don't believe he's got that. Tyson Fury really has the power to hurt him. And I don't think that he's got, I mean, a guy that big can hurt you. But they both got suspect chins, and the bigger puncher is Anthony Joshua for sure. Joshua has to catch Fury with an overhand right. Yeah, or uppercut. Oh, Lord, that uppercut. Or an uppercut. One of the best punches in boxing for me is Anthony Joshua's uppercut. That shit is a neck stretcher, dude. That's a neck. I don't know if you guys saw the picture of Vladimir Klitschko getting hit by that uppercut and somebody just stretches his neck out. Dog, that was a ugly, ugly shot, dude. I don't think anybody wants that uppercut, man. Donald the now 65-year-old Grant says same thing goes for blacks in the regular media. Two people kill a black man, 70 days, no arrest. Several cops break in the wrong house. Boyfriend shoots to defend the home. They kill a black woman. He's arrested. And let me ask you a grand question here. This is what's most important to me. And I need an honest answer for people. When this happens, are you surprised? Are you surprised? And that's a 1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Are you surprised when that stuff happens? Because if you're not surprised, that tells you it's systematic. I told people when I first started this channel, and people thought I was dispassionate about it. Because I think it was on Trey. I think it might have been, let me see, was it Trayvon Martin or Tamir Rice or the kid in New York or the dude in Dallas? Or, there's so many of them that I can't quite remember all of their names. But people thought I was dispassionate about it. And I said, surprising when somebody's arrested. Now that's surprising. If it happens and somebody gets convicted, that is surprise. Watch this. It would be the biggest surprise if people like Paulie Malignaggi actually saw something like that and then said that they thought it was wrong and that it was related to the color of the person's skin. That would surprise me. What would surprise me is if people actually, that people other than black folk actually believe that that was a problem. That would surprise me because I've yet to see it happen in significant numbers. I've yet to see it happen. Yep, 2, not surprised. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to happen next month. Might happen next week. Might have happened today. Which is why your boy, Fat Boy, bugged me a little bit. Now, I will continue to keep, Robert Soren said it happens every day of the week. It's frightening. Yeah, it's supposed to be frightening. It's called terrorism. It's supposed to be frightening. That's why you terrorize people. That's why you hunt down somebody and shoot them like that, and then you put the pictures all over the place for people to see. It's terrorizing. But you get your boy like Fat Boy, out here saying people are exaggerating and, just go to church and do your homework. Shut up, go to church and do your homework. Be more responsible. It's your fault. That's not something you need to worry about. You need to worry about what you're doing. You don't need to worry about whether or not people, if you go into neighborhoods that people feel perfectly okay with killing you. That's not what's important. What's important is that you go into your neighborhood. When you go to your neighborhood, that you stay in your house, do your homework, and go to church. That's what the dude said. In a nutshell, that's what the dude said. The Rock is in the building. What's going on, Anthony Jones? Salute to you, man. Legalize terrorism. I mean, it's just terrorism. It's what it is. Don't be surprised. Oh, no, Godfrey Samuels. What's going on, man? Paulie Malignaggi was by the way, his name is spelled like malign, like to talk bad about somebody. That's how it's spelled, malign. Aji. Like isn't like malign. What does malign mean? To discredit somebody? Like, that's what I think about every time, is that the shit's in his name. Who said what, Dark Truth? I'm willing to bet you if Danny would have won the WBC belt, he would have never fought Spence. Oh, there's a high probability of that. But he didn't, so he's got to get that money. That's a dangerous fight, though, for Errol Spence. That's a live dog, man. Danny Garcia is a live dog, man. But Dark Truth, who said what? I got to do something real quick. Give me 1 second. Do. I got to go to my studio so I don't make sure I don't miss anything. I really do appreciate you guys' support, though. A lot. Okay, give me 2 more seconds. Okay, that's not that. All righty. All right, there we go. And where I need to be. Man, I don't feel the best today. Okay, cool. Wow. Okay, cool. Gotcha. All right, I'm where I need to be. Danny versus Errol Spence. Yeah, Danny's it's a good fight. Arthur Burr said, Fannon, Church's OG boxing talk every Sunday morning. Yeah, man, come to church. Man, look, I need people to pressure Junior the Truth to become a full-time regular on that show. Dog, I like that. Dude, Junior the Truth is like that. I listen to him every morning, because he comes to the Punch Junkie morning show. That's my morning radio. That's my breakfast show. Get it on. I go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth. I put on the Punch Junkie morning show. Dog, we need to put some pressure on. I need Junior the Truth back. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Junior the Truth, said Danny is another one that is out of his weight class. Yeah, he is out of his weight class. He's a $140. He's a $140. Good fight. Danny done lost to Porter. Done lost, but they never got their ass beat. Yeah. Dude, they're evenly matched. See, that's kind of that's what happens in boxing, dude, when you got two fighters that are evenly matched. Those are good fights. I would watch Danny Garcia. I really want to see 2 and 3 fights. 2 and 3 fights, especially now if it's you have where you're gonna have to really have high quality fights in order for people to come off their money. And I mean that. This shit that Top Rank does, like this card Top Rank's about to do, is going to be shit. It's going to be absolute positively shit. Because Bob Arum, cheap ass, ain't going to pay these dudes any money for these fights. You know what I mean? He ain't paying these dudes nothing for these fights. So you're going to wind up getting a bunch of shit ass fights, but they're just going to be up there, right? I said Sean whooped Danny's ass, though. That was child abuse. I don't know, man. That was a good fight. I mean, the first half he won. I think he won the fight, but Danny came on in the second half of the fight, man. But I want to see a rematch. Run it back. Boots versus DSG for the King of Philly. Boots ain't quite ready yet, man. Boots ain't quite ready. And you know how that's going to go. They're going to say they won't fight. They're going to say they won't fight each other or something because they're Philly. You know, we don't want to fight each other. Yeah, I like it too. Oh, said Danny and that no-look hook is scary. Hell yeah, scary shit. Man, much love. The African Walla Walla said, it's Adewale in my new channel. That's what's up, man. Thank you. Do you think black people in the U.S., Brazil, China, and the rest of the world would remain disrespected until the continent of Africa starts winning and doing greatly? I got to be really politically correct when I say this. I don't think that's going to happen until the people that really run, that are really in control, absolutely and positively fall to the side. That's what I think. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's a regional thing, like where you live. But I don't know, man. It couldn't hurt. I'll put it that way. It couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt at all. But the thought pattern I don't know, man. I got to think about that. I don't think it's going to really work until you have a new world system. Or at least the one that you have falls by the wayside. And it's going to take a lot of retraining people's minds. The same amount of training that it took to get people to believe that the way that they believe about black people, it's going to take the same amount of discipline and training of people to believe the opposite. Because people's minds have truly been poisoned to feel negatively towards people in direct. What do you see? Well, I want to make sure I say this right. The amount of disrespect people get is in direct correlation to the amount of melanin they have in their skin. When you're white, you're right. When you're brown, stick around. When you're black, get back. I think that is a fundamental reality in almost in every part of the world where color exists, and the European domination has been established, especially in areas where a European language is prominent, because there's so many things in the language itself that make you believe that dark is bad and light is good. Like, I watch movies all the time and I'm like, why is it that black is bad? Like, it's like universal. You know what I mean? It's like not universal, because I think it's the opposite way in some Asian companies where it's white. Whereas white is really kind of the color that represents negativity. But it's like enlightenment, your dark nature. You know what I mean? This is a very dark thing. And, you know, I think it's very, very, very deeply seated in people's mind. And it's going to take a lot of retraining. And also the military, and also like the militarization of European society is so extensive that it's going to always be a war. You know what I mean? Like, because I think that that there's a misnomer around what it is exactly that makes the reason why the European culture is dominates the world is violence. It's their propensity for violence, and they're not their propensity for violence, rather, but their ability to effectively use violence. Because violence on this physical plane, I mean, if you're dealing with people that are like, you're going to do it my way or you're going to die, and they have no compunction about making that happen, it's going to be tough. That's why I don't have any, like, I've never had the belief that militarization of the black community in the United States is going to do anything other than lead to massive amount of death because we can't win that fight. I don't care how many handguns you have. You don't have a plane. And if you did have a plane, they have more. And they're very well trained and they keep getting better. It's just, yeah. So I gotta tell you, I don't know. But I will tell you this, being highly constructive as an individual, I think that's the best thing that we can do to compensate for the system that you live in. I think that's the absolute best you can do, is to be completely focused on being productive and not let anything sidetrack you. Not let anything sidetrack you from being productive today. You know what I mean? Today. Like, what did you get up to do this morning? What have you accomplished? And did what you accomplish, is it helping you work towards your goal, or is it working against your goal? And if you as an individual keep those blinders on, you're going to accomplish a lot of things. That's just a fact. If I decide this morning that I'm going to clean my house, right? I'm going to do my videos. I'm going to have a conversation with Junior the Truth. I'm going to take my son to basketball. I'm going to read, I'm going to make progress on my Patreon movie that I'm making. And then I get something written, right? By the end of the day, I would have moved those needles forward. But if I do this, if I go pick up a blunt and I roll that mug up and I get me a little shot of whiskey and I pour it in a drink and I sit in front of a TV and I binge watch The Wire, none of that shit is going to get accomplished. The only people that are going to benefit out of that is the dude that sold me the weed, the guy that sold me the alcohol, and the people that produced HBO or whoever produced The Wire. They're the ones that are going to get those are the ones that are going to benefit from my actions. So I think that the best thing that you can do is make sure that you're the primary beneficiary of the actions that you make day by day, and not in a selfish way, right? Where you're taking from somebody else, but that you're producing on a regular basis, because the system is not built for a productive black man. That's not the role that you are supposed to serve in society. You are the underclass. Your actions and the way you live your life are supposed to be viewed in a manner by everybody else in a way that will validate the systems in place to mistreat you. For example, take what with Whitlock said, right? In a conversation, PD, I'll get that to you. There are very few Indian. I don't know if there's a lot of Indian entrepreneurs in the United States. In my area, IT, most of the Indian companies that I know work out of India. And there's a lot fewer Indians coming over to the United States now because their cost of living their standard of living is increasing, and consequently their wages in India are increasing. But look, I don't care. It's not my business to talk about what Indian people do. This is my thing. Take Jason Whitlock, for example. When Jason Whitlock said, this was the topic. Well, Aubrey got killed. LeBron James says what he said. We're getting hunted or whatever. Jason Whitlock's response was, he's exaggerating and he's causing a storm. What we need to do is we need to focus on the deaths that happen in our neighborhood. Look at how we as black people are killing each other. Look at all the bad decisions black people make. Look how bad our neighborhoods are. Look how poorly educated we are. Look how many people, look at how many fathers don't take care of their children, and how many single mothers there are, and how many welfare queens there are, and all of this, right? You go through all of that talk, right? But that's using our experience as the state that we are to justify the mistreatment of black people. The problem is not us getting chased down the fucking street and murdered. The problem is that there's drugs being sold in our neighborhoods and people being killed over it. What I would say is this, and I know this is not the case, but if black neighborhoods could get to the point where they were each individual was purely focused on being productive in a way that produces something constructive. All of that gun shooting, all of the littering in neighborhoods, all of the, just being involved in bullshit on Saturday night and drinking and partying and getting mad and shooting each other, all that shit would stop. Because we would be focused on doing something constructive for ourselves as individuals. I think we make a gigantic flaw. There's a flaw in our reasoning that tells us that we need to get together as a group of people and talk to each other and figure out how we can all unitedly solve our united problem. I don't think that shit works because it has not worked. However, I can tell you this. People that have focused on being constructive in everything that they do, they thought, and everything they do, they say, and they think, tend to be very productive individuals who accomplish things on a regular basis. Right? If you had a group of young black men that decided that they did not want their park to be dirty, that they saw bottles on the ground, and they were like, "Hey man, let's get out here and clean this park. That's what we're going to do today. Fuck it. We're going to clean the park." And they got up, picked up the bottles, threw that shit away, then went back home and did their homework. You know what you'd be left with at the end of the day? A clean park and better educated kids. That's what I think it is. And I just think that it has to be something that individuals choose to do. And then when more individuals choose to do it, and people see the results, then even more people will do it because they will think that, oh, that's how I become successful. Hey, Kennedy Linder, if they change everything, that's right. That's good. Because they would have to reset the system. I'm not saying that everything will go away and there won't be any oppression. They won't be doing anything, but you will make the system have to adjust to it. They would have to go they could no longer pitch, oh, we're not mistreating them. They are just unproductive people that need guidance. And so therefore we're providing the guidance. It's manifest destiny. That's our job. Our job is to rule the people that cannot rule themselves. And clearly you see people running around as if they don't know how to rule themselves. So we will rule them. We will help them out as good Christians. That's our Christian responsibility. That is the task that our God gave us. Isn't that the logic that's used? Isn't that what manifest destiny is? Isn't that the reason why people say, hey, the slaves should be happy that they came over here? Because before that, you guys were just a bunch of monkeys running around killing each other in the jungle. You needed order. You needed structure. Right? They made that shit up, but people bought it. Right? So don't be that. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you from somebody that made that shift, from somebody that was on a bunch of bullshit to, look, man, it's 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. I got to get some shit done. And I got to get shit done that is going to get me closer to my goals. You know what I mean? Shaka Zulu beat 35,000 British soldiers that had guns. Shaka Zulu only had 20,000 soldiers with short spears. He won using smart tactics, not the better weapons or marked men. But no, he didn't win. Shaka Zulu did not win. South Africa was controlled by the Dutch. That's where Shaka Zulu, that's where the Zulu were. In what is currently South Africa, right? That's where the Zulu reigned. He did not win, he lost. He died. He got murdered by his own tribe in a ritual in a ritual execution. He never lost a battle, but he damn sure lost that war. And the Zulu lost that war. There's no other way around that. Yeah, no, Shaka Zulu lost. He didn't win, he lost. We didn't win anything. He didn't win anything. Exactly, Defu. He won the few battles. He didn't win the war. You're not going to beat Europeans in a military contest. You're not. And in fact, I would highly suggest that you don't try, because that's their sweet spot. That's their sweet spot. It's not going to, in my opinion, it's not going to work. And if somebody can show me an example of it working, I'd love to see it. But it hasn't. They're very, very good at it. Very good at it. Other levelly good at it. It's what it is. Dog, it's got to happen some other way, man. It's got to happen some other way. Haiti, what's Haiti like now? Smitty Schmidt, what is Haiti like? Yeah, Toussaint Louverture and the Creole middle class overturned and kicked out the French. Absolutely. Agree to disagree, that's cool. I don't know for sure if I'm right or not. You know what I mean? Somebody can turn around and be completely correct. Somebody be like, oh shit, Overday, hey, you know what I mean? The world's changed. We won a war. Could happen, but it's kind of like me saying that, hey, yeah, it's Toussaint Louverture. Yeah, Toussaint Louverture. And anyway, we don't want to get too much into that, man. Yeah, Haiti did win, but Europeans but they starved them out for 200 years and will continue to starve them out. But it is what it is, dude. All I'm saying is the most practical way to make advancements where we are right now is to become highly productive and constructive people on, but whatever it is that you personally believe, you need to be constructive and productive at doing. I'm not what somebody else does. Whatever you do. If you want to become a rapper, right? Then sit down, grab a piece of paper and pen, write your stuff down, then go on about your business of trying to do that. You know what I mean? You're not going to make it if you want to be a rapper, but you don't really do the things that you don't put the work in. You don't put the work in necessary to do it. Every person, by the way, every person that you know of that is highly successful in the Black community demonstrate the exact same thing that I told you I think we should do. Whether it is somebody in business or whether it is somebody in sports, whether it is somebody that's singing, they at a point in time were entirely committed to being productive. And they define productive as something that works you towards achieving your goal. Floyd Mayweather Jr. exhibited that. Muhammad Ali exhibited that. Mike Tyson in his early career exhibited that. All of these athletes, in order to get where they get, have to dedicate and focus themselves and guide their lives according to a path to achieve their goal. Now, they might run into, and when do they run into problems? When they've achieved that goal and they no longer have a goal, a tangible goal to work towards, right? I'll use one of my favorite fighters, Errol Spence Jr., right? That's what he said. He said he had to go back to being hungry because when he was hungry, he didn't have any weight problems. He didn't have a problem doing physical exercise and all of that blowing up in weight. It was only when he believed that he had made it, when he achieved his goals, He made his money. He became champion. He became famous. It was only then when he accomplished his goals did he start blowing up in weight in between fights. Did he start losing his compass, right? But then when he says, oh, I'm going to lose all of this, when I'm going to lose all of this, I need a new goal. My new goal is to regain my domination of the welterweight division. That's my goal now. When he has that goal and he can work towards that goal, he has a chance to achieve it. But you cannot achieve something that you'll never achieve anything of significance that you did not plan to achieve, right? You're not just gonna luck into that. You don't luck into learning how to play the piano. You don't luck into having to being able to do what even, you get my point. So I'm saying use the same thing that has made people successful in the Black community and allowed them to thrive in entertainment, in whatever, in sports, in entertainment, and apply that same thing to whatever it is your goal is. If your goal is to become a mailman, say, hey, I really want to work at the mail. I really want to work at the post office. That's my goal. That doesn't sound like a sexy goal, right? But it says that's your goal. Well, then what do you need to do to work at the post office? Well, I can't get caught smoking weed. They test, so I can't smoke weed. I got to get out of high school. So shit, let me get out of high school, right? You know what I mean? Maybe I need to get a couple other jobs. I need to make sure I get in good health, and I know how to interview with them, and I meet the guy. And you put that plan together and you pursue it. You have a significantly better chance of becoming the postman. But if you don't have a plan, you're fucking around all day. What's going to happen to you? What would you achieve? Nothing. Like I tell my son that. I'm like, hey man, now my son, you got to do your homework at this time. You got to play basketball. Because I'm trying to teach him to have a goal and realize what it takes to achieve a goal. And then when he finds a goal that he wants to achieve, he'll know how to go about executing that, which is why I have no patience for people like, even though I like him generally, but the guy that has like, what's his name, dude? He's got a YouTube channel, Dr. Boyce Watkins, like Dr. Boyce Watkins, and the guy with Powernomics, right? That's where I think I respect those guys a lot. But one thing that I really think they missed the boat on is the value of sports. The sports for young Black men are extremely important. And I'm going to tell you why. Because not everybody wants to be a physician. Not everybody wants to be, right, out the gate, a doctor, or wants to be, right, an entrepreneur. Many of them want to, for one reason or the other, want to be a professional basketball player. They want to be a professional baseball player. And it is very difficult to change what somebody wants to do, because that's what they want to do. But why they go down that path, they learn all kind of things about being disciplined, about being consistent, about being a leader, about being structured. It keeps them away from other distractions that could cause them more problems in their neighborhood. And if they have the amount of discipline necessary to improve themselves in basketball, then if and when the time comes that they set for themselves the goal of becoming something else, they know what it is necessary to achieve to do that. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. My daughter, I put her in tennis early, like 5 years old, right? Playing tennis for hours at 5 years old. She can ball, right? But she hated tennis. Excellent player, hated the sport, hated going to practice, hated the competition, hated it, right? So she said, I don't want to be a professional tennis player. That's not what I want. So what she did was, but she knew how to work. So she decided she wanted, because I was like, look, babe, you're either going to get a college scholarship or you got to get an academic scholarship. You got to fucking pick one. Pick one. You got to get it because I can't pay for your school. That's why I can't guarantee that I can pay that much money. So what she did was she became a straight A student. Because she said, oh, shit, no, I don't want to be a professional tennis player. I want to go to college. I like school more than I like tennis. So I am going, and dude, she's got a sure first semester. She's a full-time athlete, by the way. She is a full-time athlete in college, an excellent tennis player, and she enjoys it in college in a different environment. And she's a straight A student at the same time because she knows the structure, because she knows what it is to achieve a number of reps, knows what it's like to have to go to work when you don't want to go to work, to practice when you don't want to practice. Those lessons come straight from tennis and apply to the thing that she actually wants to do. So when people say, oh, black people devote too much time to bouncing balls and talking sports, nah, dude. No, they don't. It's what you love. And if what you love is to be athletic, is to run and jump and compete, have at it. Have at it. But understand what makes you successful in those environments are skills that will make you successful in other things. But some way, shape, or form, you have to learn that structure. The worst thing that there is, in my opinion, oh, no, real McCoy. I'm going to go to the super chats in 1 second. I didn't miss. I got him on the other page, and I'm going to go to him. But I want to make this is the one thing that gets me. And I'm going to say it in a very foul way. All y'all niggas need to get straight. Drop that CP time shit. Drop it. Drop that shit like a bad fucking habit. Think of CP time is worse than crack cocaine. I think CP time has killed more niggas than crack. CP time will ruin your fucking life. Get off of it. And get off of it because that ain't shit but ridiculousness. Bro, stop speaking nonsense. Bro, I'm not your bro. And get the fuck out. Drop CPT. Drop. You see, hopefully you're going to write this down for a book here. Joe, drop CP time. Late. On time is late. If you make that simple correction to your life, simple correction, dude. I'm telling you, dude, your reputation flies up because people think you're reliable. If you go to work, show up early and leave late. Little things like that, dude, I'm telling you. I think that stuff is more, I think that is more practical. It's boring. You know what I mean? It's boring. It's not sensational, but it's more effective. It's more effective than standing in line. It's more effective than voting for your life. I am thoroughly convinced of it. Said Real McCoy said, you got a point on Fannon on CP time. Dude, CP time, first of all, it's no such thing. It's just a fucking disrespect. You're just disrespectful. That's what you are. You're not, it's no such thing as CP time. It's just disrespectful. That's it. It's just you being disrespectful of somebody else. And there ain't no other way around it. If you are somebody that consistently, that feels like they're going to do it whenever they feel like doing it. They're going to show up whenever they feel like showing up. Not show up when they feel like not showing up. All you're doing is being disrespectful to the other people involved. It's just disrespect. That's what it is. Nothing other than that. And matter of fact, you should probably get rid of the word CP time because all it is all it is disrespect. It's telling somebody that you're not important enough. And when you spit in somebody's face like that, dude, they feel it. They know it, and other people will know it, and you will find yourself having a lot of problems in your life that you don't understand why shit ain't working. For nothing other than CP time. I promise you. Let me get the super chats real quick. I know I ran off for a while. My man, African Wild said, thanks for your great insight as usual. I think there's a correlation between the subjugation of black people worldwide and the progression of Africa. Absolutely, dude. I mean, that would be a great thing. Absolutely would be a great thing. Real McCoy said, Jajama Kolo defeated the Italians when they tried to invade Ethiopia. I agree. It's service by individuals in need. Fannon, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Hopefully you're writing this down in a book. I mean, you know how it goes. The mind is an interesting thing, man. But yeah, dude, I do need to get a book out, man. I was lectured on that, and I was given a very good reason to do one. So, you know, but I gotta set it as a goal. Otherwise, it'll sit on my table forever and a day. Do you think that Spence and Crawford will see each other? Yeah, I do. Absolutely, I do. I believe that. I can see, and there's no logical reason for it, but in my mind's eye, I see that fight happening. What's going on, Brian S? But yeah, dude, PED. See, but now look, watch this though. Did you see how the dude that I kicked out? No, did you see what he said? Stop talking nonsense. There is nothing that will get shut down quicker than something that makes black people productive. If you want to sell rap music talking about shooting people all in the head and all that, and Vicodin and whatever other lean and and fuck them bitches and all that shit, and I got a $15 million in my bag. If you want to do that, dog, it's all day, every day. You will never, ever, 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 ever run into any issue, as long as what you do is not constructive. As long as what you do is non-constructive, you're good. But if you start fucking around talking about black people organizing themselves and acting in not in a professional manner, but in a way where they respect themselves, they respect their times, they work towards their goals, and you give us a real practical way to go about doing it, your ass will be a fucking scourge. And you will be thrown the fuck underneath the bus at the first opportunity, dog. And a lot of times it will be black folk, like my man Junior the Truth said, double agent type dudes that'll do it. Telling you, shit is consistent as knowing that some young black dude is going to get shot next week. But that's my opinion. None of this is fact. You know what I mean? Or no, I'm not putting this out as if it's the Bible. It's just my thought process on the matter after 51 years of being around. Every year of my life, there's been young black men killed in senseless manners, whether it was a lynching. There are some people that got lynched in Oklahoma. Lynched and dismembered in Oklahoma last week. This is a regular occurrence my whole life. But I know who the people are that have lived through it. And they are typically the people that displayed like BFTB. Dude, the BFTB, ask BFTB if you should start some shit with the military. Ask BFTB is a better expert than that than I am. How long, BFTB, how long you think that'll work? How long do you think that fight would last? Dog, that shit is a fucking slaughter, dude. That's why the LBC has so many trolls, organized, leadership, harmonious, and productive. They can't stand it. Exactly. Oh, BFTB said, good luck. As in, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. Hell no. Dog, please. Those people are real good at it, dog. Real. And they're very, very smart, too. That's another thing. As long as we want it to, they said, as long as we want it to, I'm not sure what that means. The minute they cut the EBT cards off, the fight is over. Hey, Crush the Legend, let me go ahead. What do you think, man? How long you think? I'm asking my military people that are in the military, people that are in the police departments that see what they do, know how they train, know what they're doing. Oh, he said, you said how long will it last? Oh, said as long, the military as long as we wanted to. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I get you. You're like, it's gonna last as long as we wanted to. You're talking about from the point of view of the military. Yeah, as long as we wanted to, dog. But and that might not be very long at all. 5 minutes, trust let's say 5 minutes. Yeah, dog, no. All of that stuff, don't do it, dude. That's like me telling people, dude, don't read your own agreements. Dude, don't have your manager give you a contract to sign. Dude, take that motherfucking contract. Tell them you thinking about it. Go find a lawyer across the street that you ain't never met before. They don't know you. You don't know them. Go into their office. Bring $500 in cash. Bring $500. Say, hey, I need a consulting session with you for $500. Read this for me. What are my risks? What are my risks? And how can I minimize them? Dog, the motherfuckers will go through that shit. Yeah, there you go. And now you're enabled. The amendments about militia was before every police department was militarized and had drones. The fight is not what you want. No, it's not. And honestly, man, I'm like amazed. Anytime somebody talks about it, I'm amazed. I'm amazed that the conversation's taking place. It's like, no. Oh, Crutchland said I was a goon. Oh, I was in goon patrol. Hey, man. What do you say? Yep, BFTB run 4 miles, 36 minutes. Call it 4:36 at 6. Dude, you ran 4 miles in 36 minutes? Dude, back to back 6 minutes. Am I right? So, 8 times. That's 8. That's back to back 8-minute miles. 8 times 4 is 36, right? Wow. Or wow, 9 times 4 is 36. My math sucks, dude. Famous Ogon, what's good? But yeah, man, look, that's what I would say. I think we need to do that. Oh, so my mile was 5 minutes. Yeah, dog. See, like, dude, these dudes is nah, and they're froggy. Dog, they frog. No. But I will tell you what will happen, though. I'm gonna tell you this right now, though. Like, my approach would be every young black man should join the military. I've changed my mind. Everybody should join the military. Just overwhelm the military or overwhelm the police force. One of the two. But that is what will change the system, in my opinion. Right? Is when the middle buffers, when they no longer support what's going on, that's when everything will change. Because just like I said that, you're not going to win no fight against the military, dude. Just let's stop. That shit's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not even worth having a conversation. I personally think that all that conversation that went on with the Black Panthers and the guns and all that, I thought all that shit was ops. And I was like in law. I was not in law, so I was an undergrad. And I was like going through it or whatever. I was like, oh no, this shit seemed like ops to me. This seems like some motherfucker got put up to putting guns in their hands and becoming more militant. And once you became more militant, it was an excuse to dump drugs all in your fucking neighborhood. That's what it seemed like to me. I never thought any of that movement was really real. Now I know that there are real people in it that really believed it, but I always thought that shit was pushed. That's like a feint. Is that what it is in boxing? Like a feint, right? Where you're like, you're like, oh, throw the punch. I was reading about Sam Langford, and that's what made me think about it. It's like Sam Langford was, early in his career, he's like somebody who was really like blasting people out. But the better he got, he was like, oh, what I'll do is I'm just gonna move away until they come at me. And when they come at me, I'm gonna slip and they're gonna bring their weight into me. So my thought about anybody other than people that I know, like LDBC cats that are just chopping it up, but anybody that I know that really pushes that, like at a high level, I always think these dudes are plants. Like, nah, dude, you trying to lead motherfuckers into a graveyard, dog, and I'm not going. Okay? I'm not going. I know how I've lived this long, and I know how I've taken care of my kids, and it is by being productive, constructive, and focusing on what it is that you're supposed to accomplish. It's not bringing guns to an Air Force fight. You know what I mean? Don't bring guns to a tank fight. And shit won't work. He said, oh, Crutchland said my platoon had the top 10 in the brigade. Like, I don't know what that means, but I know that means you motherfuckers could kill somebody. And we're very motherfucking good at it. and at a certain point in time, I wouldn't doubt it. Hell no. I'm not doing it. Anyway, they have the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, local police, militias. Dog, it's just shit's no. The only thing that's going to change that is when that system, I think, is either some big natural disaster like some huge shit, like an asteroid landing on this bitch. Boom. Damn, there's only 1,000 of us left. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit. Or the support structure, the administrative support structure of it turns on them and says, you know what? This has become oligarchy. We've moved from, this is a situation where we do not support this anymore. And you have people like the military, like generals in the military saying, I'm going home. Or they order them to do something and they're like, no, we're not going to do it. Right? Oh, we want you to tap everybody. No, we're not going to do that. Sorry. And if that happens, then the people that are pressing the buttons, they're dead in the water. Because then all Negroes can just go straight to their houses. But like if you're from Kansas City, dude, I told my wife this. I was like, you know what would happen if 10 black men went into downtown? There's this area in Kansas City where it's just a bunch of mansions, like right in the center of the city, right? It's by this park, beautiful neighborhood. I'm pretty sure like the mansions are owned by people that like, you know, that own Hallmark, like big estates. The minute 10 Negroes go up in there with some guns, you're gonna see helicopters and tanks flying over east of Truce from 55th all the way to the 10s. They gonna be running through them neighborhoods, dog. Like, no, you ain't leaving out this bitch. But if there is no middle barrier, because people say no, this system is too corrupt, and I as somebody in the military refuse to do this, then you'll have problems. That's why Muhammad Ali was such an issue, because Muhammad Ali said, I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it. And then he had college educated kids saying, I refuse to go to Vietnam. And when they refused to do it, that's when that shit said whoop. And we ain't had a draft since. They're like, oh, we can't force them to do it. We're just going to pay them to do it. And we're going to put people in situations where, you know, shit, they have to do it, because how else are they going to earn a living? And I think that's one of the main reasons where, like, the stimulus, they don't want to give money straight to people. Because if you give money straight to people, enough to take care of them all the way through the pandemic, then how would you motivate them? And people in business have said it. How would you then motivate them to go out and work for us? They might choose not to do it. And when human beings choose not to do it, that's when shit changes, you know? But you can't, not everything is pure physical force. You know what I mean? You gotta pencil whip them, man. Gotta pencil whip them. Anyway, man, I said, man, I still to get my stimulus. You make too much money, dog. Ain't no big money man like you, BFT, be getting no stimulus. You know what I mean? Donald, man, I still don't give a stimulus. Facts, Ali changed everything. Yeah, dude, the dude killed the draft, man. Because they were like, what this dude? And he made sense. He's like, and dude, he's so articulate. I mean, he's so charismatic with it. It made perfect sense. Like, why am I going over to kill him? Ain't motherfuckers doesn't do shit to me. Y'all motherfuckers doing shit to me. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? Drugs pumped in the neighborhoods. Now, BFTV said, nah, man, I want mine. But anyway, man, if you ever think it's going to be smart to have some like physical uprising, dog, don't do that shit. I mean, it's bad enough for real. If you think shit's bad now, let some fucking people do some shit like that, dude. Do you realize what they did to Move in Philadelphia? Like, do you remember Move in Philadelphia? Somebody tell me if they remember what Move is and what happened in Philadelphia. What happened in Philadelphia puts all this shit to shame. Like, that's the big one. Hell yeah, BFTB, I got you. Oh yeah, yo, Juniper B mentioned, yeah, they bombed them. Bombed the city building. Like, fuck it. We're gonna get your ass out of here. Drop a bomb on your ass, you're gonna get up out of there. You think they're gonna drop bombs on your asses? Try to shoot a bomb dropping. It ain't gonna work, dude. Don't try it. Anyway, much love to everybody in the chat. I know this wasn't a lot about boxing, but I really do appreciate your time, man. Man, subscribe to Junior the Truth. Subscribe to my man BFTB Boxing. Hey man, whenever Dante's Boxing comes back, man, support Dante's Boxing Nation, the LDBC. But right now, make sure you go talk to my man KQKC Boxing. Make sure I didn't miss the super chat. General Squirrels, hopefully you're writing this down for a book. I got it. Yeah, thanks, CJ. They say, yeah, they bombed and burned them out. Yeah, dog. The U.S. is not about bombing organizations or groups. They've done it and will do it again. You're saying they are about. They'll bomb your ass. Hey, man, exactly, man. Always good talking to you, BFTB. Dude, don't fuck around like that shit. Yeah, exactly. Drop the fucking bomb on them, dog. You don't want no bomb. Don't invite people dropping bombs in your fucking neighborhood, dude. That ain't cool. Yeah, drop the bomb on Wall Street too. You know. Anyway, it is what it. Don't bring guns to an airplane and tank fight. Peace. I know what you meant, Juniper P. Said they are not above doing it. Hell yeah, they get the fuck out of here. Or you know what'll happen even worse? Let me tell you what'll happen. Did you see what popped off in Venezuela? Venezuela just caught some Americans trying to kidnap the president of Venezuela. Some mercenary group. Dog. They ain't above sending some mercenary group into the hood and talk about snatch them. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here. And the shit's legal too. And it's legal for them to do it. Don't fuck around. Anyway, it is what it is. Much love to everybody. Yep, they had a black mayor, but the black mayor ain't the one that decided to do the bombing. I bet you he didn't decide to do it. And if he did, that just tells you that's some old Steven, that's some old, hey, at least, you know what? That tells me I am very, very happy that Jason Whitlock's dumb ass is just covering sports. And his ass ain't really in politics, dude. Because that motherfucker there, dude. Anyway, it is what it is. With that, I'm out. Peace.